Welcome to segment 2 of this week's NFL show. And if you haven't seen segment 1 yet, I did the Julio Jones dance. So, there you go. There's your precursor to what just happened in the last segment. See how I do this?
Cool.
I'm trying to get more fans to watch this show because, we could be on Fox Sports debating this with some really hot chicks like Erin Andrews or Carissa Thompson or Jenny Taft.
I would love to.
Woo! As you know, I'm 18 and I'm a guy, so I go for the hot chicks. But anyway, back to our NFL debate or discussion, whatever you want to call it. For my game of the week, Chicago against Detroit.
Well, right here we have there's a three-way battle and tie for the NFC North right now between Detroit, the Chicago Bears, and the Green Bay Packers. And right now these two coming off pretty good games the last 2 weeks. Is Detroit doing a great job? Oh, they had a bye last week, actually, I should say.
Yes.
But the week before was that Dallas game.
That was a
game.
comeback.
They came back out of nowhere,
Absolutely.
which was amazing. Man.
Durham.
Great job on the Lions right there, and they're trying to prove themselves a little more that they are becoming a better team. As I believe they already have a better record than last year.
5-3 at this point.
Man,
Yeah.
They're
4-12
4-12 last year.
Yes. So they are already improving from last year, and then you have a Chicago team who. This is what kind of changed stuff around for me, as Jay Cutler was just announced coming back today to start for the team, and I think it's going to be huge for the Chicago Bears, even though McCown was doing a great job at the quarterback, even though he's a backup, and I was pretty impressed by him these last 2 weeks. And now you can see more of Brandon Marshall and Jeffrey probably this week, and I believe this is going to be a really high-scoring game in this one. But with a last-second field goal, the Detroit Lions, I believe, will get this one 34-31.
Interesting.
I think the Lions are going to put up points. I think it'll be a lot closer game than people think. I think Chicago was Chicago favored in it.
I would believe so because that's Soldier Field.
Yeah. But yeah, Jay Cutler's coming back. I hope Ndamukong Suh puts him out again. I can't take Cutler. He's a chump. But
Yeah.
I got Detroit 35-31.
I'm going to quote a meme from last year right now. Jay Cutler is my hero, said no one ever. Seeing Jay Cutler coming back is almost bad news Bears, pun fully intended. Because Luke McCown did all right, but still. Cutler, pseh. Even though he's okay, the NFC North despises him. Sometimes even some Bears fans. But anyway, Lions get the win here. I'm surprised that we're all agreeing on this one.
Wow.
But I'm thinking this a little lower, 28-20. But I do think the Lions will sweep the Bears in the NFC North this season. And little known fact for right now, if the playoffs started today, the Lions would be the NFC North champions based on conference record.
They would be.
Of course, Minnesota does not have a conference win because their only win came in London against the Pittsburgh Steelers in London's toilet bowl. But anyway, Detroit 28, Chicago 20. AFC North division rivalry here. Baltimore against Cincinnati.
Now, going into last week, I thought Cincinnati was actually one of the best. Actually, I think maybe one of the best teams, and I can't speak right now.
In the AFC?
One of the best teams in the AFC right now, yeah. I just started stuttering for some odd reason. And then the Dolphins came in, and went to Miami, actually, and they got showed up by the Miami defense, which that shocked me. I did not see this Miami team doing that. And I don't believe all this Miami stuff was happening before that game, was it?
We're going to talk more about the Richie Incognito stuff in our last segment for Miami's game, but yes, I will. Yeah,
I don't think that was going on before the game, though. I think I started going after. Yeah,
it came out after. Yeah.
So that didn't have an issue with this game at all. But since they got showed up, and Andy Dalton, after getting Player of the Month last week, just got destroyed. I believe he had 3 turnovers in that game, 2 interceptions and a fumble.
One of them not being his fault, though. Sanu should have caught that ball in the fourth
that is
quarter.
true. But He looks at the quarterback no matter what.
Exactly.
And so then you have a Baltimore team who's, I don't know where they are gone this year. It's quite shocking to me that they are 3-5 at this point.
They're about as inconsistent as the Jets, almost.
Pretty much, and you don't know where they're going to be each week. Is Joe Flacco? Again, I say this every week. I know I do, but the guy needs to do better than what he is right now because
Got the big deal.
you got that big money. You got to do something for your team.
Bert, you need to do better, Bert.
That offense needs to do something. The defense, I know they have some people missing, but they have to step up. And this week is a week to step up if they can. Even though Baltimore is at home, I feel like this is going to be a close game, but I have Cincinnati taking this one 17-13.
Interesting. Raz, you're up.
And Andy Dalton did get shown up by the
Surprisingly.
Dolphins there. Yeah, surprisingly, but I got Cincinnati winning 21-17. The defense is still too inconsistent to me for the Ravens. And Cincinnati's offense has been improving.
Mm-hmm.
Besides for last week.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, Cole and I will both agree on what I'm about to say right now, but it always sucks when you start the week 0-1. The NFL week 0-1 with a Thursday night loss. And that happened last week. It's like, man, I want to go undefeated. I'm 0-1 already. I lost the Thursday night game. Cole and I both had that feeling after last week. Am I right?
Yep.
It's like, damn it. But anyway, Baltimore, Cincinnati. Baltimore, they're almost like the Jets. As in, they can be really hot or really cold. But they're not as talked about as much as the Jets because they've been more really cold. Even though this game is at home, Cincinnati is going to play mad. Why is that? Because of how what happened last week against the Dolphins, and that was a big Halloween trick right there. Everybody was dressed up as empty seats, and still Miami wins the game on a safety.
I've never seen that in overtime before a game. I even a safety.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah. So, Miami fans playing basically what we learned last week if you're a Dolphins fan is show up because they're going to win. Maybe. But anyway, Cincinnati, I believe, wins this game 24-14. I think Andy Dalton comes back, gets 2 touchdown passes. Mike Nugent will kick at least 1 field goal. Without Ray Lewis, I don't know. Ray Lewis might need to coach that team there for them to get better.
Come back like Brett Favre did.
Exactly. That'd be interesting.
That would be.
They called him.
They did call Favre, I think. The Rams
too
did.
old.
Rams
Said I'm
did.
too
Yeah.
old.
That was what we talked about last week, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Good show on that one. But anyway, Green Bay against Philadelphia, but who knows what their quarterback situation is right now. Is that Nick Foles or Peyton Manning?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. Because I think Peyton Manning must have filled in for something last week. This is, actually, I'm not going to lie. Foles is actually a really good quarterback this year. I think if I looked at his stats from, last week, let's mention this first. Guy had 7 touchdown throws, which ties the NFL record, which is kudos to him. That's pretty,
on Peyton Manning's bye week, he comes in dressed up as Nick Foles.
He may have, for all we know right now. That's what I'm thinking. But if you look at his stats for the season, coming into that game and actually coming out of that game, he has 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's pretty much been having an outstanding season. Even though the record doesn't show, and it's him as a starting quarterback, he's had a great season.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can get some of that offense, he's got the offense going, just get that running game going maybe a little bit more, and possibly get a little better defense, this team can go far, and I believe can make the playoffs and win that division, because that division's up for grabs right now. They're only a game back. And now you got Green Bay here, who's in a sticky situation, I believe, because now we have Aaron Rodgers, the God and Savior of the Packers, is out for 3 weeks. And you have Wallace?
Seneca
Wallace.
Who I will
we'll
say...
get the nod, they said.
Yes. I thought he was a lineman, Seneca Wallace.
I know he was the backup for the Seahawks. That's all I knew. Or he started a little bit for the Seahawks as well. So he played a little bit last Monday and was not impressed at all by him. He could not do anything. And even though Green Bay is getting A.J. Hawk back this week on their defense, which I think could help a little bit for him, I cannot see Green Bay winning this one, and I think they're going to lose another one at home. And I don't know the last time. I can't remember the last time they lost 2 straight home games. That had been a long
Pretty
time
good,
since
yeah.
then.
That's NFC North Division humor. Bad news Bears.
And I think Philadelphia's going to come out of this one with a 24-16 win.
Interesting. Raz?
Yeah, Seneca Wallace, I remember him back from the Madden days when you needed a backup. He was the second fastest on the game, so you couldn't know. That's how I came to know. But yeah, he looks scary.
I think I saw you tweet that, or somebody tweet that last
I might have a
one day.
while ago. But, yeah, Green Bay, there. Seneca Wallace just looked rushed and panicked when he played last week. He played very inconsistently, and the Philadelphia Eagles are rolling now. I've been waiting for them to break out the past couple seasons, but I think Vic will get the nod. Have they announced it yet?
Yeah,
I think Foles is starting.
Oh, is he starting?
I believe
He
gonna
should.
start. He should
Yeah,
after
he
last
should.
week. If he doesn't start after last week, I don't know what's up with that. And he
Yeah.
hasn't thrown an interception or turned the ball over this year, so I don't know why he wouldn't.
Yep, but I don't care who starts. They're still winning 21-10.
You know, like I said when Cole was analyzing, I thought Seneca Wallace was a lineman. And he goes in this and it's like, who is Seneca Wallace? Sounds like a lineman's name. But anyway, he will get the nod this week as that's the only quarterback that's on the roster besides Aaron Rodgers for Green Bay. If this game were in Philly, I would believe that Philadelphia would break that home losing streak of about a year and a half.
That's right. They haven't won at home in a while, have they?
September of last season.
Yeah. Oh, the Lions beat them at home. That's right. I was thinking it was maybe the Lions going to beat too. But
Surprisingly, I do think Green Bay would still wins this game because the Eagles, once again, are another inconsistent team. They're starting to roll, but they're still... I still have my doubts about them. The Chip Kelly offense, it's basically set in stone. They got to play the Raiders every week for the Chip Kelly offense to work as efficient as it needs to be. I think Green Bay wins this game 35-31. But it could go either way. Another one of those toss-up games, like in I think the first week you came on, was that like 9 toss-up games in 1 week? It was around the first week you came on.
Yeah, I know I went I think I'm on like 9.
Yeah.
I was something.
Mm-hmm. That week. It's almost like this week. Let me see. Yeah. 35-31 Green Bay on that one. Tennessee against Jacksonville.
Do we have to talk about Jacksonville? I really don't want to talk about them. I was so happy we didn't talk about him last week. It was beautiful. But here we go again. Jacksonville fans, you need Devo. That's all I gotta say. Because I might be a Michigan fan, but I'm not gonna lie. Chad Hennings sucks for you guys so bad. It is unbelievable. You guys have nothing. Jones Drew ain't doing crap. You guys are doing. I think they only have 5 touchdowns all season.
Something like that.
So Foles got more touchdowns in 1 game, plus 2, than you guys had all season. I don't know.
It's embarrassing.
Your defense sucks. I have nothing positive to say about you guys. I'm just sorry.
I need to trade him, Maurice Jones-Drew.
I think he does need just to help him. I feel like just make him feel better. Maybe he'll have an anger issue if he got traded somewhere.
Yeah.
I like the team.
Okay, let's go to Tennessee now, though, because I don't want to talk too bad about Jacksonville anymore. Tennessee coming in this game, again, one of those up and down teams who started off amazing, and now they look like Miami and starting to struggle.
Yeah.
Jake Locker, I feel like he's still trying to get back from his hip injury, which I can see it taking a little bit of time to get to. But again, Jacksonville, you gotta get something. You don't have anything. Just wait for the draft next year. Maybe it'll help you a little bit. Draft a quarterback, hopefully. Because Tennessee's going to win this one 27-7.
Raz?
Jake Locker is a beast. I really think he's one of the underrated quarterbacks in the league. I really think he's rising to an elite quarterback pretty soon. Jacksonville, absolutely terrible. I really think they should trade Maurice Jones-Drew and start new with the number 1 pick. You know, go 0-16, just throw the games. I got Tennessee 24-7.
You know, last week was Jacksonville's bye week, and like I said at the end of last week's show, the bye week was favored by 12.5, and that stands true. I know it's bad to say, but sadly, I do think the Alabama Crimson Tide, the Oregon Ducks, and the Florida State Seminoles could beat the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
That's sad.
No.
It's sad to say, but I think it's true. And they're going to have to prove their worth.
I could see Alabama because
Couldn't
they're just stacked. I feel like
You gotta think though, Jacksonville is the drafted players. I mean, they're not good in the NFL, but they're just on a whole nother level than college. I mean,
But-
the workouts,
So was a half that Alabama team though. You know?
I don't know, man. I don't think a college team would ever touch a pro team.
That's a discussion for another
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
But still, Tennessee, although I was every week until the San Francisco week, I was saying this team is for real. Did they have the bye week last week?
I think they.
No, they played.
Or they played St. Louis. They
Yeah,
beat them.
that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I think the bye week helped Tennessee after that San Francisco
Yeah.
loss. And once again, I'm back to thinking that this team is yet again for real. But especially this week as they beat Jacksonville, and they manhandle Jacksonville, I should say. This should be more of against the point spread than against the team. But anyway, 24-3, I think that game is. Leading scorer for Jacksonville this season will be, drumroll please, Josh Scobie.
Yeah, I think he is right now, actually.
See what I mean? Segment 3 coming up next.